Welcome to Automation Rehab's Marketing Podcast. Our mission is to empower every person on the planet that is interested in digital, social, or offline marketing to hone their marketing edge, overcome challenges, and help others find their passion in business growth. We discuss the products and services of entrepreneurs and how they're helping more people. We support listeners by providing influencer strategies to expand and sustain their presence while growing their business. Our aim is to be humorous, cool, and entertaining. The bottom line is it's all about getting in front of more people in less time, with less effort, and making a difference. So here's your host, Shoan Snowday.
Hello and welcome to Coach Marketing Mastery. My name is Shoan Snowday. I'm the founder and the voice of Coach Marketing Mastery. Today we have Jay Fairbrother on the line, the mastermind guy. How you doing, Jay?
Good, Shoan. Thanks for having me here.
All right, great. So you're going to tell me, I have these real challenges with my events. And the challenges that I have are just getting butts in seats. So I know that there's Eventbrite, there's Meetup, I have my list, I have people I can call. I literally have, it's off the hook. I have a landline. That's where I make all my phone calls because I don't want people texting me.
That's old school.
Yeah. So what are some of the things and tips and techniques and tricks that you use with like the Meetup and Eventbrite's type technology?
So just for background, if anybody's listening that's not really familiar with Meetup, meetup.com has 60 million members worldwide. And it started as, it's all local based. So you start a meetup in a city and they were for in-person meetup groups, right? And these groups are usually, again, started originally, it was like lifestyle stuff, right? So there's groups on Meetup for dating and quilting, or, if you're into whatever, like a lot of lifestyle stuff, not so much business stuff. But then after COVID, Meetup pivoted and started accommodating online events. But the focus is still those in-person events. So when you start a Meetup group, it's in a local city. People in that city join thinking you're going to have local events, right? So I recently came across a guy and I bought his program. It was great. And if anybody wants to reach out, I can give you information about this. But this guy's developed a strategy where you go out and create a whole bunch of meetup groups. So with one account, meaning one email on Meetup and personal account, you can create 3 groups. Well, his strategy is take 8 different email addresses and create 24 groups. And there's nothing magic about that. You could create, 100 groups if you wanted. And in those groups, you post your online webinars and events, right? So people join it, and so you can name all the groups something similar, like targeting your niche. And then you create these events where they show up. It's just another traffic source, basically, right? To draw people in. And there's some specific tips and tricks and strategies on how to do it. The one thing I sort of advise people to think about is if somebody joins a Meetup group and they see like the same event just posted over and over again, and that event is to sell them something, and that's kind of clear in the event description, like come to my pitch webinar, that's going to get old real quick. So you have to be a little smart about mixing it up, doing some different workshops and events so that people don't feel like it's the same thing and all it is a pitch fest. But it is a great way to create traffic. One of my clients who was also in this program I went through, he went out, created his 24 groups, and just from Meetup, he just had 140 people show up at one of his webinars by posting that same event in all 24 groups. And he just started 2 months ago.
So it's the same link.
Yeah.
His name isn't Jacques, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So cool. All right.
Yeah, Jacques in my mastermind, and he took the same program that I did. So yeah,
Okay. So then, so some of my questions about that is, and it's really great, like to just, so you're using the same link. It's going to be different headlines, different text, but it's going to be the same link to the same event at the same date and time.
Yeah, well, it can be the same graphic and text in all 24 groups because people aren't in more than one. They're only in groups in their city, right?
Right.
So it's if I'm in Toronto, I'm not seeing groups in
Okay.
Montreal.
So now I know that, so I've had Meetup for years, and I just got rid of it last year. And one of the things is that it had I've had it maybe for almost a decade, right? If longer. And and one of the things I found were, if you pay, you could pay I can't remember how it was, but how it is now is you could pay monthly, 6 months, or a year. So is it recommended to maybe, because once you buy a Meetup, it's going to blast out to everybody and then it's never going to do it again. So if you buy for a year, it's going to blast out to that area and then it's not going to do that again. If you buy for 6 months, oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense, because then if you did
No,
it
it's
again,
still
you'd
only
have to
going to do
start
it
a whole
once.
new one.
Yeah, it's still the same meetup group. So it blasts out that your meetup group has just been created
Yeah,
once, but then everybody who joins your group, every time you post an event, it gets blasted out to them, just
right.
the people in your group.
Right. And if you don't have, like, I remember doing it and getting like 100 people or less, or maybe 50 people. Then I had a meetup event at my house. Um, in my community, we had a clubhouse and we had a movie theater. So I had it in the movie theater. And I really didn't get that many people. And another thing, it was a gated community. So you gotta take all of the, hey, come to my gated community, but no
There's
one,
some
the guard's
barriers.
not gonna
Yeah,
let you in. So so all that set aside, so is it best to go month to month, 6 months, or a year?
doesn't matter. I mean, there's like most of those things, you save a little money if you pay for the year up front,
Yeah,
but it's like under, I think it's around $200 for a year for
yeah,
three groups.
right,
So if you create 24 groups, that's 8 different accounts. You're talking like $1,500 a year
right.
to assemble, and get, like Jacques just got 140 people onto a webinar from that alone, and that's
It,
just one webinar.
and my understanding, because I did talk with him about this, it's hard work. So I have an event called Automated Marketing Summit, and it's for super nerds, marketing people. It's where your friends are. That's my tagline. It's where your friends are, because you really want to go there to learn something about automated digital marketing, and you want to interact with all your friends.
Right.
So I ran Facebook ads, and I don't know why. I might as well just put, what I should really do is get a credit card with zero money and just give it to Mark Zuckerberg. Just go, you know what? Spend as much as you want, because I didn't spend much. I spent $300, but I got like 2 leads, you know? So this sounds like, even though the investment might be it might sound a little bigger, the return on the investment seems a lot more, you know, it just seems like it could be, it has the more potential to have a good return.
Yeah. So again, I look at it as any other lead source. So whether
Right.
you're paying for Facebook ads or you're paying, JV partners to promote you and sharing your profits from anything that's bought, or you're paying for these meetup groups, it's all, you have to look at it in terms of, and you don't have to go out and start 24 groups. You can do it with, 12. I mean, obviously the more groups you have, so if you have, 50 to 100 people join your group in each city, and then you post all your events into that group, Yeah, so you need a VA. You need somebody, that you can pay. And the program that I took, this guy actually even provides VAs who are trained on how to set up these groups and post all the events, and it's not even expensive for that. I just have my VA do it for me.
Right. And so then, yeah, because it takes a lot of work of setting it all up, getting the copy, getting the dates,
Yeah, yeah,
getting the links in there.
yeah. And there are some other sort of side benefits, which is you get some SEO juice, because you post all your meetup groups on your website. You can put all those events on your website. The meetup creates backlinks in Google, to back to you. You put all your links in these things, so there's some side benefits too.
Wow. I never thought about that. So one of the things, because I plan on doing this, I have a few things. I have Coach Marketing Mastery, I have Automated Marketing Summit, and I have a new thing called Virtual Events on Demand. I don't know if you ever want to speak at any of those, if you'd even be a fit for it, but I'm always looking for speakers. Um, with this technology, have you launched yours yet, or have you done yours?
I'm started. I didn't run out of the gate just because I just haven't had the time. So I
Right.
think I've got like 6 groups going, but I'm ramping it up.
Yeah. One of the things I found with my groups, um, is I had I wasn't active enough in there, And I have people that love me. They follow me everywhere I go. I'm like, hey man, I moved from that state and you're in my meetup in this other state. And they're like stalking me, but it's a good thing because they like the value that I bring when I speak.
Yeah.
But I just and I want to do this. I want to do this like starting yesterday. Um, are there any has anyone come up with any challenges or any downsides to using this technology that you've heard of?
No, I think it's like anything else though, right? Your offer has to be good, your marketing copy has to be good to get people to the event, right? So
Yeah.
if that part sucks, this isn't going to help you. Right?
Yeah.
It's that's why I say it's just another traffic source. It's also a traffic source, when you think about it, you're building followers in these groups, and so you can blast events to all of them and not use email. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're pounding the people. I mean, obviously, eventually you want to get them on your own email list. That we all do that. We want that, but yeah,
That was hands down the best thing about Meetup is using their email to blast out to everyone because they may or may not see it. They might have it set up where it will come into their email account or they have to go into Meetup to see it. But what I found, and one of the best things I liked about it, is I didn't have to blast out to my list and then people go, all Shoan, I love Shoan over here, but I don't love him over here. I don't want to go to his events, but I want to see his content. And then I blast out an event and then they unsubscribe. And Meetup eliminated all of that. So I didn't
yeah,
have to always say, I'm having an event. And I use Eventbrite for that as well.
yeah. So Meetup, one of the drawbacks is it doesn't have a very sophisticated like reminder follow up kind of thing.
Right.
But you can at any time as a group organizer go in and send an email to everybody in your group,
Yeah.
not even related to an event. It could be just, hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
But you can also then anybody who signs up for an event, you can go in and target just those who signed up for the event with reminders. But again, it's a manual process. Like, that's where you need a VA who's working on a schedule to go in and send the reminders and send the follow-ups. And
Yeah. And if you have 24 groups, then that's going to be a lot of reminders because that's going to be 24 reminders, submit 24 times 3, right? So you're looking at almost about 100 reminders for an event coming up. 75 to 100
yeah,
contingent.
so your VA, if you have 24 groups,
Yeah.
for each event, your VA is probably going to spend 2 or 3 hours putting the event in there in the first place and then doing the follow-ups and stuff like that. It takes some time, but when your VA is trained to it's rinse and repeat, right? You're just pasting the same copy, same links, just in 24 groups.
Right. One of the things, the other challenge that I think is, it's not just the follow-up, but it's like if I want to do med spas, it's targeting, like I was saying, you don't put a hippie on a military base. So it's targeting the right people. And it would be sad to go, well, I want to work with med spas. Well, I can't really do that. I think you got to choose like entrepreneurs or marketing specialists. Like it doesn't really have a tagging system for business, right?
It has some, but it's limited, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can put 15 keywords that people going to Meetup to search for a group they might be interested in. Those the keywords are what thing, but you're limited to 15 per group, and I'm guessing here, but there might be a total of 30 or 40 different categories that even relate to business. Like there's not that many.
So do you know Roland Frazier?
I not personally, but I know the name.
Okay. So he buys and sells businesses. So I'm in his Epic. I'm in Elite and I'm in Epic. I'm in all kinds of stuff. But the thing is they buy and sell meetups and Facebook groups by the pixel, by the data for traffic. And so one guy, he just bought a meetup and it's kind of dead. And I said, hey, dude, I'm now a speaker. I'm an elite speaker, right? And I said, I have my flagship talk and it's directed at marketers and digital marketers. Would you like me to talk to the meetup group that you just acquired? And he's like, sure. So I'm going to be talking on February 1st to his meetup for free to reawaken it. Yep. And then, of course, I'm just going to pitch my wares. And I told him, I'm only going to pitch $97, and whatever I sell, he gets 100% because I wanted him to let me do it, right?
Yeah.
And but then I get them after that. It's like
lead gen,
yeah. So when you do the very first thing in this, let's say you have 8 accounts, 24 meetups, they come to the event, then you're going to either make it or break it. Like you really got to knock it out of the ballpark on your first one, or is there
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they are, it's like anything else, right? You post an event, if you have 100 people in the group, 5 or 10 might sign up for that event. Like, you know what I mean? You post it again with a slightly different name, or you do different types of webinars in the same group to try to broaden your reach within the group. But look, that's true with anything else you do, right? If you mass blast your email list to do a webinar and everybody comes and you suck, well, that's on you, right?
I was just thinking about how much I suck. But we only have a few minutes, and I really appreciate you giving up your time here and talking about this. And we'll direct people to your website and everything. And I want to ask you what you do a little bit, but just a little pro tip is that I can also do this in Eventbrite, and I can take a list of emails. A lot of people don't know this. Eventbrite has an emailing system, and it's $15. And you can upload your list of like 50,000 people. I don't know if they let you do it anymore. And you can just blast out that list of your event.
Yeah.
And then
you can still do that. I don't know if there are limitations in terms of list size and that kind of stuff, but yeah, that you can still do that.
And I have Seamless. So it's just like, right, upload list, blast it out. Didn't really work that well, but I also do the Alex Hormozi. I have Instantly, which is the cold email software, which we won't go into that, but I have like 59 domains. So, it's all lead gen is lead gen is lead gen, and some of it is walking the fine edge of of should I do this or not? But this is legitimate lead generation. That's what I like so much about what you're doing.
Yeah, and the thing is that there's not a lot of competition in there right now in terms of business categories, because so many of the meetup groups are around lifestyle stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like every other platform where you're competing against hundreds of thousands of other people doing exactly what you do.
Yeah. So great. Well, thanks so much. Now tell me a little bit about what you do. You're the mastermind guy. You have masterminds. I'm sure you have Offer. We're in the same program. So how do people find you? What do you do? And I know that you don't have a lot of time to build a lot of value, but
Yep.
go ahead and take a few minutes.
So you can check me out. My website is sixfiguremasterminds.com. Easy to get by email. It's jay@fairbrother.com. So basically my name, jay@fairbrother.com. So what I do is I help coaches, speakers, authors, course creators, healers to create high-end mastermind programs to scale their coaching business. And why I focus on that is because so many coaches out there get stuck. Either hopefully they fill their calendar doing one-on-ones and they can't expand beyond that, or they start offering courses or short-term group programs, and then you're in that like roller coaster revenue cycle of launches. And if you create a high-end mastermind where you get people to commit to 6 months, 12 months, or just ongoing, you can create 6 figures of revenue with 9 or 10 people instead of needing 50 to 60 people buying your $1,500 course.
And so what do you suggest people charge for a year? Is it 10,000, 20,000, 30, 50?
Yeah, it can be anything literally. And there are masterminds. I mean, I have clients who, they're just starting out, so they're not that confident, and they might be, charging 5,000 a year. And then, I mean, it sounds like you're in one that like, or a couple that are very expensive, up, I think, 100,000 a year. So it all just depends on, it's like any other offer, right? What's the value? What's the outcomes that you're promising and delivering? And, the thing to me, the thing about masterminds, so here's where I'll kind of leave this. If you think about AI and ChatGPT, like you can go out and get a law degree or a medical license using ChatGPT right now, right? Think of where we're going to be in 3 or 4 years. Why are people going to buy your course in a few years? These things are going to, ChatGPT is going to obliterate like the $1,500, $2,000 courses, because you'll be able to get that same information, at a level comparable to what people are doing now for free. So to me, the mastermind concept, that what ChatGPT can never replace, is the community and the connection between people. And that's what mastermind's really about. So, mastermind isn't the guru to many, that's group coaching, right? And in our industry of coaches and speakers, like what's labeled a mastermind is often just glorified group coaching.
Right.
People show up, pray to the altar of the guru, a little bit of Q&A, maybe a hot seat. They call it a mastermind.
Yeah.
But, the real key to masterminds is creating the relationships among the people in the group. So in, 3 months or 6 months, when they think, I've learned everything Shoan's got, like he's taught me all his content, right? So I'm moving on to the next guru.
Right.
If you create a well done mastermind in 6 months, people are like, I don't want to leave because I've built relationships with the rest of these people going through the program with me that are so strong. I'm getting so much value from everyone, not just Shoan, that I want to stay in the program.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things, what Roland did with War Room, which is now defunct, and I actually copied a lot of their stuff, just like as a reverse engineer, where they were getting so big and so many people in the War Room, and the men and the women entrepreneurs were like, okay, honey, kissy poos, I have to go to Austin, Texas to go to this. They actually started another one for the spouses.
Yeah.
And then when the entrepreneur is like, I'm done, the spouse was like, I'm not. So that's how you kind of fish hook them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Thanks so much for showing up. We're at the top of the hour. Again, it's Jay Fairbrother, the mastermind guy. We find you at jay@fairbrother.com.
Yep.
And what was the name of the
sixfiguremasterminds.com.
sixfiguremasterminds with a S.com.
Yep.
All right, Jay, thanks so much for showing up.
Thanks, Sean.